Hello, 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 hello. Um, cool. Welcome, Crypto Phil. Welcome, Cool G. Welcome, Rayo. Welcome, Johnny. How is everyone doing? All right. Open up my beer. Put it next back. I'm kind of glad we've been. Hey, at least I managed to catch all the price action earlier. Um, before I had to go out, and now I'm home. And we're almost in the same place. Let me just put the chart on, actually. uh, just too busy pouring a beer. Yeah, this has been great actually because it's just hung around for me. Maybe we'll get a move again while we're here because when did I finish? 5 o'clock. It was about 5:15 or something when I had to leave because I remember I got the knock on the door saying stop working. We're going out for dinner. So walk the dogs. We're going out for dinner. Um, and we're like exactly where we left it, which is great. So thank you for that, Bitcoin. Always waiting, always being, yeah, nice. I hope everyone's enjoying or has enjoyed this move up today. It's kind of gearing up for another move by the look of things. Actually, this is, yeah. I made a bit of money. I could finally afford a haircut. Or actually, more realistically, finally had time. Well, I didn't even have time to have a haircut. I mean, I had a haircut, then I came back home. I was like, oh wait, we're pumping. Better get back on. Better get back on. So yeah, not really much time to do anything at the moment, but hey, I guess that's what I signed up for when I started doing all of this stuff. So it's all good. It's all good. Right, what we'll do this evening, I'm not going to do any raffles and things like that. We'll do that next week. I'm going to keep this probably fairly short, but we may do a little poker game. If anyone was uh, here last week, we had the poker tournament. Poker tournament. I say poker tournament. It was one game, and we had to void the game because someone didn't pay. So whoever was in the poker tournament, because if I have to search back through my DMs and find out who actually played that game, I can't remember. I know Senti was there. I know Ruthless Warthog was there. Um, who else was there? But yeah, just send me a message again on the DMs, and we'll set that up again for this evening. If not, then I will just contact you to return the entry for last week, which is just a $50 entry. So yeah, okay. Hello, Oliver Fenton. Hello, Maximilian. Hello, Runner. Hey, Joel. Hey, P. Hey, 25th Legacy. Hey, Cool G. May have said hey, Cool G again. Uh, someone in the Discord. I like this Bitcoin game where we wonder if with this past few hours it will be up or down here. It's funny, like during the last what was it? During last week we'd had a move like this and then it just pumped when in the middle of when we were playing the game. We just had to pause the game, so to cover the price action. Hey Shane, let's get these likes up, shall we? Let's get a few more likes in the chat. And let's have a look at what's going on in the price action. That was a weird move. What was all that about? Like no volume on it. It's just stop losses. That explains it. Yeah, strange little like low. It's just I guess there's just no liquidity up here. No one was like kind of no one was expecting it to be up here tonight. So yeah, some people didn't receive the notification on YouTube. I hope that's not an issue because I guess everyone that's subscribed on YouTube is probably within the Discord and has been notified anyway. Da, da, da. Did I? Something weird's going on, I think. Oh well, it's all good. ETH looks good. I think hmm, that's not going to happen anymore. What have we got on Ethereum? Boop, boop, boop. Change market structure. Boosh. Five. Oh, highs. Yeah. If we want to trade right now, Ethereum's looking much, much, much better. I think we get a move up on Ethereum again. So that would be... Hmm. Hmm. Maybe. Ethereum's looking a bit more... Why is YouTube being stupid? Am I shadow banned? Ah. Okay, if anyone... Because if I've not got a YouTube notification for everyone, then I think what happens if you're shadow banned is it won't show up on people. Like usually if there's a live, when you go to your homepage on YouTube, it would appear there if any of your subscribers are live. If I'm shadow banned, you'd have to actually click on my channel anyway and do that. I mean, it's a crypto stream, isn't it? So the chances are that's going to happen from time to time. It's crypto, but yeah. Oh god. Um, hold on. I've just got a few messages. New moon on Sunday. Trader JM. Why are you being so mean? Cool. Yeah, I think YouTube thing's okay then. Sorry. I just had to check that. Litecoin below the monthly open. Oh, this is getting close. This is actually... Oh, if we have a little, like, dip below the monthly open on Litecoin here, and it's just holding out. I am very, very tempted. I mean, normally I would trade these as I'd want to see confirmation, especially when it's something as clean as this. But spring backtest of spring kind of thing, you're not going to get much of a better opportunity than this on a, like as an LTC BTC pair. I'm very tempted to do this. When sailing, what up? Is there no free beer? Actually, this beer is free beer for me today. My dad actually delivered me a nice box of free beer. My parents are visiting this weekend, so I just left them inside. Like, guys, I've got to go and work. So I've just left them in the house, and they're just chilling out, watching TV, having a few drinks, and they're probably watching this. And I mean, if I'm saying this now, my dad's probably going to go and might crash this stream. So hey, we'll see. But yeah, he bought me a free thing of beer, so it's nice. Get some like craft beers on the go. Anyway, welcome Ren Sailing, welcome Randall, First to Fire, Maxime, Crypto Prince. Yeah, we got a lot of people in here tonight. It's good. It's good. Bitcoin's back and people are happy. All right. Who wants to? So I've just had. I'm not even going to ask. Who remembers JJ, market maker JJ? We're going to get him on the call. So let me just set this up. Oh, it's been a while since we've spoken to JJ, so it'd be cool to get him back on. If we've got JJ on, oh man, we can talk about the FTX stuff and we can show all of the selling that was going on and what initiated this short squeeze. This is going to be really good fun actually, because we'll talk about this. Yeah, these live streams, man, they're just like completely random. I'll get my headphones ready because I need to turn the speakers off. Send a link over. Set the screen share for him. All right, cool. And JJ is in the YouTube. Ah, hello. Ready? Because I need to turn the speakers up.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Oh, I can hear myself in the background. I think I think we're good.
Good stuff. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, I'm really good. How have you been?
Really, really good.
Good,
Jeez,
good.
haven't hung out with you guys in a while now.
I know. Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, the market for the last, well, I guess July was pretty boring. There was never that much to talk about. But oh man, the price action recently, like across everything actually, has been really good fun. Like ES, like making all-time highs every day. Bitcoin short squeezing everyone. It's been
Yeah,
fun.
it's been a really strange August.
Yeah.
You know, it's these markets are just. I thought I'd seen everything, but sometimes even the ES is a very, very strange animal right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not acting at all like a normal market. It's
No.
actually it's kind of trading like a penny stock.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, which is good for us in the room because that's all I did for 25 years. But
Yeah.
sometimes I can't believe it's still, I'll see it do something and I'm like, they just do what I thought they did. Do what I thought
Yeah,
they did. You know, it's very it's a really momentum trader driven market now.
massively. Yeah, I think
You know?
it's almost like yeah, because well, I guess with all the short squeezes that happened on AMC and all of those kind of things, GameStop and all of that earlier in the year, and now we're getting these all-time highs where it's it's got to that stage where everyone's expecting a crash,
Mhm.
and every little dip on the market, it almost seems like every day you have, it's just like S&P 500 just opens, has a little
Yeah,
dip, shakes people out, and then it's new all-time highs, and it's just
exactly,
repeating the
exactly.
same thing.
And hi everyone. Yeah, I haven't actually put my dirty, filthy little paws on the Bitcoin market yet.
Not yet.
I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm really cautious when it comes to trading because I've just been around, so I'm
Yeah.
old, right? So, but I will. I'm really anxious to. I'm still looking at the price action and trying to figure out how to watch the action at a level because I use Sierra chart for ES and it's
Hmm.
really detailed.
Yeah.
And this is I think you got to use wider stops, and so I'm still
Yeah.
still a Bitcoin virgin.
Yeah.
So
we'll we'll get you there eventually, JJ, when it's I mean the conditions have not been ideal since I think we started talking, just when everything became a bit kind of slow and boring, just after we we started doing stuff, and it's taken a while, but the volatility's back, and it's been so much fun to trade
oh
recently,
good.
and really technical. But I wanted to actually, as you're on the call, I wanted to discuss something with you, so you can see my screen, can you hear?
Yep. Yep.
So this is really interesting. So basically with crypto, and I was talking about this with people within the group, and I made a video on it last week. This was on, well, earlier in the week, Monday and Tuesday, during the week. So you can see here, we've basically just got the footprint
Okay.
chart here. So, I mean, it's not TPO, but I just want to show
No,
you
no.
the,
This is Delta, right?
yes, yeah.
Okay.
So what we saw here was just, we had a big squeeze from,
Mhm.
basically it came below 30k,
Yeah.
trapped a load of shorts, and had a 46% move to the upside
Oh,
within
that was
about three
nuts.
days.
Oh yeah.
Uh, but after that, and this is the really interesting thing about this that I found, that there was one exchange, and this is an exchange called FTX, which is one of the biggest exchanges within crypto. I think the guy that runs FTX now is like the 40th richest man in the world. It's insane,
Wow.
and he's one of the market makers. He's just he is a trader, so
Okay.
he's a trader that created an exchange for himself, and it
Good
just
for
put him
him.
into this, which is mad. But
Well, it's good to
there
be
was,
king.
yeah,
Jeez.
but within this exchange, so you can
Hmm.
see I've got a delta um like chart here
Hmm.
along with these, and you can see, if I just zoom out a little bit on both of these, you can see from our lows down here, this is when
Yeah.
price was at 29k and it had a
Hmm.
46% move up. And then you look at how delta just suddenly, this was as soon as August started, just, this is all the delta like
Yeah.
yeah, the delta profile for everything, and it's just red.
Yeah.
It's a 4 hour chart, red, 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 racking up over $1 billion negative delta over the course of 2 days.
Now, let me ask you a
And
quick question.
mhm,
Okay, so I know that I'm not I'm talking donuts when you're talking donuts. Now, the
mhm,
delta that you guys use, because the delta that we use in futures is the up over down tick volume. Is
yep.
that the same thing here? Okay. Okay.
uh yeah, just
Okay.
I guess basically the difference between buyers and sellers at market.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
it's the upticks over the downticks. So
Mhm,
you see that when they took the market up over and they like there are these beautiful balance zones that you can even see on the delta chart.
yeah.
Like there's one there, and then they move it up. See,
Mhm,
because what they do is they accumulate a position, and then that little dip before the move up, that's what we kind of give the tree a little shake, and we take
yeah.
that swing stop right there at the
Mhm,
low
yep.
on, yeah, right there. When
Mhm,
we take that, that lets us get a lot of nice low hanging fruit, right?
Yes.
And then they jam it up, and then they hold the market with what I like to call, see, after the move up here,
Mm.
then you see the bottom of that range right here after the move up, right
Yeah.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where my term is. This is where we put the big ass bid and sell what we bought at the lower balance range up in the higher balance range.
Hmm.
Now, I don't know enough about Bitcoin to know, but I know that this is how large operators work, right? You buy a position, you move the market up, and you sell the position,
Yeah.
right? Donuts, rugs, whatever, Bitcoin, it's all the same thing. It's a market, right?
Yeah.
So, but it's really cool. And I'm going to bug you for a copy of that because I've got Delta heads that'll go nuts for that chart.
Yeah, this is
You know?
another one of the charts we've been using a lot more recently, so I can send that one over for you for
Oh
sure.
yeah, yeah. I'm sure they'll be like, "Where did you get that?" I'm like, "How do you do that?" I go, "I don't know. I didn't build it. I didn't build it. Go to Toros." You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, and it's really cool as well because you can see like single candle divergence and stuff, and it just
Oh,
highlights
okay.
it for you, which is really interesting. But the thing with this is so the whole move up, and this is
Yep.
what I found really interesting, and I can put this on. Um, yeah, we'll just zoom out a little bit, and this went from negative. We're, we're talking, yeah, negative 153 million delta to up to 800 million delta. So you're at about $600 million more being bought at market than sold, which was able to
Mhm.
take the price up by 46%. And
Yeah.
then we had a dip of about 7, but during that time we went from 1 billion delta down to negative 400 billion. So that's 1.4 billion sold more than was
Got it.
being bought. So this to me, and this is what I was saying, is something I've never really seen in crypto, but the absorption there, to absorb that much
Mhm.
selling in the market and to only move price down by 7% when we'd had a 46% move up,
Yeah.
the market was getting incredibly bearish here. And I was, yeah, I did a video on it, just how like it was fascinating to me just to see that much selling, that much aggression in the market, but just
Yeah.
no
See, the thing
movement.
is, right? It's
Yeah.
beautiful. It's a
Mm.
beautiful move because they took that position, they sold it up, and they held it up there for however long that
Hmm.
was, right? And then this is what we call is fading something,
Yes.
right? And we fade it, and we just gently sell, but we're both the bid and the offer.
Hmm.
So once we have all the product in hand in that little chunk of balance right before the move up, they'll sit there and they'll buy everything, including the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
And that's when people short,
Hmm.
right? And they start shorting down in that 37,
This,
800 neighborhood, right?
yeah,
And then that's when we got them,
yeah. Squeeze up.
right?
Yeah,
Right. Because they have all of the supply. And this really shows it quite nicely,
yeah.
you know?
Because
Wow.
it even just took out the. I think on this occasion, yes, it just
Mm-hmm.
took the low here,
Yeah.
took the stops, and this was the other really interesting thing actually. So if I go lower time frame, this again, like it's one of the most fascinating moves I've seen in crypto, uh, probably ever, um, and you can see on here. As we're coming down, so just go onto a 30-minute chart, so as
Yeah.
if this is like
Mm-hmm.
TPO, and you can see every time we took the stops at this low, so we're back down
Yeah.
within this 37.8, you can see the price coming down, and then what happens is you take the low, just volume
Yeah.
just completely disappears on the lows here. So if they were being aggressive and they
Yeah.
wanted to push this down, it'd be so easy to,
Oh,
because
it would. Yeah.
it wasn't taking a lot to actually move that market down, but you just see it takes it out and then the volume goes, we get a bounce. Once again, you take it out, the volume goes, and then you get a 23 million market buy at the low here.
Yeah.
And that was almost the signal at that point. That's like, okay,
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
yeah,
That's like, okay, I'm done. I'm done cleaning.
yeah, that's
Right.
the
I
position.
always call this, that's when they run the stops. That's like when after the Rolling Stones have a party in the hotel room, you got to clean the room out a little bit, right?
Yeah,
So that's that's what goes on down there.
yeah.
Well, this is a really cool chart.
Mm. And it, again, you could just see again, it came back down into that position, couldn't really force it down anymore, and then just since then, just
Jesus,
a
yeah, I know.
huge
I
move
was
up
watching
there.
that move because I had a balance zone of 39.50 as the
Hmm.
top, and the middle of it was right there at about 36,550.
Yeah.
And we came up from there, went over balance, came back in, and when we couldn't get to the bottom of it, I was sitting there going, I wonder if it's going to bounce back up, to 39,500. Or I mean, 38, yeah, 39,500. We'll go back to the top of that balance, and then I got the ES has been the ES trading has been weird and snaky. So I've been really concentrating on that, trying to keep people out of trouble.
Hmm.
And then I looked at it today. I'm like, what the hell? You know,
Yeah,
it's
like
like,
this is just insane, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
but it's just the
this,
range, and that's the like, oh, there's so much fun to trade ranges. You
yeah.
can,
I mean, oh, look at those bars. Oh, those are nice too. What the heck is this? You guys have
oh,
all
it's
the
just
good toys. Okay.
this is just trading view. I've just put
Oh,
fancy
trading
colors on
view.
it. It's
Oh, okay.
yeah, but
Cool.
it's trading view
Yeah.
with a little VWAP session
That's
VWAP
nice.
running through the middle of it. But
That's really nice. It's just it's amazing the amount of information and tools that you guys have
mm,
at your disposal. But I'm looking at this crypto market. There's some pretty smart people who are quite well capitalized swimming around in this thing.
oh yeah,
You could tell there's somebody who knows what they're doing in this thing, and
mhm,
they've got the cabbage to move this thing too.
yeah.
Uh,
Well,
I
that's
guess
yeah,
yeah,
that's the other thing. You look at this after we got like yeah, what $1.5 billion of selling, and we hit this low here,
yeah,
and you just look at the delta after that, like how we've gone from pretty much neutral if we're looking like entire range, and within the space of just like a few hours, it's racked up about 500 million of just buying and just chasing the books like the whole way up,
yeah.
to force this price upwards, and it's just continued. It's like
Yeah, this is really somebody. There's a group. I don't know who the hell's
mhm.
in this market. That's the thing, because all you guys are kind of like all you guys are like ghosts who never really exist. All these names and things. It's not like it's Goldman Sachs, and
Mhm.
it's so it's a very opaque market. But there's some. All I have to do as a trader is look at these charts and go, okay, that's what I'm trying to figure out how to trade this thing, because uh, it's one thing to have a market where you have a lot of people with money,
Yeah.
but then there's another thing to have a market where you have a lot of people with money, sophistication, and there's no rules,
No, exactly. Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah. Yeah. I think really I think the crypto market's more or less controlled by probably, in terms of like the true market makers and the people that
Mhm.
really can apply force on this market, is probably about 5 people.
What was that
Um,
all? Wow.
with so you've got 5 major exchanges. Or I say 5 people, but
Oh, five. Yeah.
5 major exchanges. And because they're not the thing with ES and with kind of legacy markets and things, is you've just got there's certain rules that they have to follow, of course, like they have to it's what is it,
Well,
you've got that
it
kind of balance between all the exchanges there,
oh
haven't you?
yeah, I
So
mean,
yeah.
the thing is, like, they have something in equities called the NBBO, the National
Mhm.
Best Bid and Offer, where if you're a market maker, you have to execute at those prices,
Mhm.
right? Otherwise, clients will complain and you get fined.
Yeah.
Here you can, it's like, hey man, it's the price. You want it or not?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like dealing with Cheech and Chong. You don't really don't know what you're going to get, but the thing is that there are people who have mastered it, and it's funny because we were talking about NFTs,
Mhm.
and one of the old guys in the room was like, they were like talking about these digital racehorses, and my partner Ray has gotten into it, and he got in
Yeah.
like in the ground floor, and now he's got a stable worth like 20 grand, for like, and he spent like
What for
two G's,
a
right?
stable for digital horses?
Exactly. But and
It's
the old
mad.
guys in the room were like, get out of here. This is ridiculous, and they're like downplaying it. I'm like, listen, man, I don't care what the bag looks like that the cash comes in, as long
Yeah.
as the bag is full of cash, right?
Yeah.
And so because I missed out on the whole Bitcoin thing because I was old. And and stubborn, going, I don't know, is it real? I mean, these guys are really.
Yeah.
And then, by that time you missed the whole, the best cost average, right?
Mhm.
So by the time you try to figure out whether it's legitimate or not, the market's gone.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like standing there going, whoops. So that's
Yeah.
why I'm like hanging out with you guys to learn and try and be open-minded,
Hmm.
because that's the best way to make money as a trader, is to be open-minded. You
Oh
know,
yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
that's
It's
one thing I learned from you guys a lot. And so I'm really quite grateful for that. Very
that's the
grateful.
thing. Like, that's the amazing thing about trading is that the ideas and the kind of the thought process and the strategies with trading are just endless.
Yeah,
You can find something to trade and make it work for you, and it'll be something
exactly.
that the next person you talk to just has no idea about and has probably never heard of. And
Exactly.
I often see things within the chat on here and things, and people are asking me um stuff like someone was saying there was a J candle, and I have no idea what that is.
Oh, that's
That's-
probably for me. Yeah.
yeah.
I take this trade every day in the
Oh, is
US,
this?
and
I
it's called the
remember
J
you saying
low.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
because that's when
Inventory corrects.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe that's what they were talking about, because
Yeah.
this on this occasion we did hit the lows on the I and the J.
Yeah. And
I don't know, maybe they were talking about that.
yeah, that's my famous trade.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's the only trade I do all day. I do one trade, right?
Yeah.
I'm like those old guys who go fishing, and sometimes I catch fish,
Mhm.
right? Oh, hey, and Hurst Horns, any trader who says they're not learning something new every day is full of it,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
because I've been doing this since 1993, and I learn something new every day.
Hmm.
It's never ending, you know,
And that's
and that's why I like it. It
yeah,
makes your brain work.
exactly. That's the amazing thing about it. Like I see this as I kind of see trading as almost like a sport, and it's it's like a mind sport. You're not
Yeah,
that physical with it, but it's you wouldn't see. I don't know if you follow football, but it's not like Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi or something would think, oh, I've just won World Player of the Year, I'm going to stop training.
yeah, that's
That's the
true.
thing,
That's true.
you train every day, and there's always yeah, and being able to have yourself on the call with the experience you have, and hopefully with us being able to kind of
Yeah.
tell you about all these crypto markets, it's
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
that's the amazing thing.
it's a good combination. The old
Yeah.
guy and the new tech.
Hmm.
And the new tech people. And I just have to say this to bug you guys. I mean, when you mentioned football, I thought you were going to talk about the Chicago Bears, but oh
Soccer.
well. Okay, all
JJ,
right.
you're moving to London soon. You got to stop
I
calling it
know.
soccer.
I was actually, when Tiger texted me, I was looking at
Yeah.
apartments.
Oh wow.
So I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, we're looking at apartments in like that Canary Wharf area.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, so we'll see.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to yeah, have a beer when you land, and
Hmm.
do that as well. That'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah, this crypto market is just it's something that honestly, sometimes when traders late at night, when they have a little bit too much to smoke and drink, they come up with these fantasies in the 80s and the 90s. And this
Yeah.
is like, what if there was a market where there was no rules and you could trade? And here it is,
Yeah. Yeah.
like 30 years later, like, damn, that's really cool. It's quite amazing.
Yeah. I think that's it, and I think that's almost kind of exactly what it is. Like a lot of the guys within crypto, a lot of the major exchanges and stuff, they were all at university together.
Mm.
And they probably just had these mad ideas. I know the guy that created Ethereum, the guy that created Binance, which is one of the main exchanges. You've got
Oh, yeah.
other people there. They all went to university together.
See, and they actually went to class. See, when
Yeah.
I went to university, I was working in a nightclub as a bouncer. Not a good thing to do because you tend not to go to class a lot in the morning. So yeah, yeah.
You've been up all night training the Asia session, and
No, I wasn't a
going on.
trader then. I was,
Uh,
I was working the door at a nightclub.
yeah.
So
But
it's like,
also, yeah, also a reason to be staying up all night then.
who's Steve Morrow?
Steve Morrow, is it someone asking? All right,
I don't know who that is.
Steve Morrow. Um, let's have a look. I'll Google him. Beat the market, Steve Morey. Market maker for Forex.
Ah,
This is suddenly really bright on my I have no idea.
never heard of them. There's a lot of people out there. I mean, there's a lot of people who used to work in the industry.
Okay, Steve Moore is a Forex expert specializing in the concept of market makers, a group of elite traders who control price action against the smaller retail traders. He is the sole educator and instructor of Market Makers Forex, a website that owns and operates something, something, something. Ah, interesting.
There
Yeah,
you
never.
go.
Yeah. Maybe you should get an interview with him. Or
Sure, I
being a
no.
market maker yourself, JJ.
No. Yeah. Well, I mean, I fed market makers order flow for 25 years, and
Yeah.
it's just it's interesting. There's so many people there. There's even a guy that that used to be a market maker that was on Twitter, and we started talking to each other. Now he started a room too, because he just discovered that there was a need for it. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people in the chat now that are just like, how have you not heard of this guy?
I don't trade Forex. I don't trade
Same
Forex,
me.
and I'm
Yeah.
very, very focused on what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's one thing is if I trade one market, I don't look at anything else. I just watch PVSRA. I don't know much about the retail scene, guys. That's the thing. I was institutional for so many years, and then I put deals together and just sold you guys stock. So I never, this whole retail trading thing, is new to me. So there's a lot of players that you guys are who are famous in the retail world that I've never even heard of.
It's yeah, I think that's the same with me, because I've I guess in a weird way I've come from I've not been, my trading background has just been like absorbing price action for the past 5 years, and I just kind of have developed like a connection with it in that way. I've not been someone that's really I wouldn't say I've ever been like a student of the charts and things like that, but I think through just absorbing price action, you find ideas, and you learn about stuff through other people and other traders, and it's just a kind of natural process. But yeah, there's someone that I've never come across, but I will definitely have to check out his stuff, because it sounds fascinating. There's a lot of people in here that are saying that his stuff's very, very interesting, so I'll definitely have to check that out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Someone's asking, Crypto Prince is asking, JJ, could you go more in depth with your letter J trading method within TPO?
Good thing. J period is, what time is that?
So I should probably pull up a session chart so we can get just the New York session on here, because that would be the. Does this give us a J period, or is it does start from A? Cool. Okay. I'll put this on a large tick size so people can see. And then everything blue will be J. So would that make sense to you that we're looking at, is this UTC?
Yeah,
we're probably looking about 6 p.m. UTC.
Yeah. That J period, what it is it's the late afternoon inventory correction, right? So what happens in the US markets are, if the market, say the market will go up for an hour and then come back down, balance for a bit, then go back up for an hour. And then sometimes what it'll do is it'll spend time between a certain price range. And what happens is buyers get trapped, right? And when buyers get trapped, they start to sell out and take the lower stops. When they take the lower stops, that's usually by I or J period. And that's in our charting. Let me just make sure I have the right time.
Yeah.
It's around 1 o'clock my time, which is 3 o'clock, an hour before the New York close. Right? About an hour.
Oh, okay. So this would be
right.
New
So
York close. We'd have to calculate this and find where it is within crypto. Let's put it onto a normal one, and we can get a 24-hour chart here, because then this would give us New York close
I'm trying to
being
find,
uh
and it depends. You see, if inventory is long above us and we correct, sometimes that J is a beautiful short, the start of a nice short. Sometimes the J will break, not be able to take the stops to the lower end and rip up, and you can buy the J low.
right.
So it's just an equities futures kind of thing based on New York time and when inventory corrects. Because in the daytime frame, unless people like in markets that are bracketed or balanced, the only thing that moves price is inventory. So inventory gets too long, people get trapped long, it sells off. That's when you look for a short. And then you have limited supply, so it's going to bounce somewhere because the selling doesn't last forever.
Okay, so you say that would be the last, what, the
It's
candle
about
before close, or
it's an hour, let's say an hour and a half before the New York close.
okay.
That's when the inventory will correct. Like say if you have a trend day and it goes up and sticks, right? Like on the 29th in the ES, the market went up and it stayed above 44.15 for about 3.5 hours. And then it had what we call a double top. And when you see things here, I'll show you this on
Yeah.
Sierra chart.
Yeah, do you want to do a screenshot? I can pull that up.
Yeah, sure. And I'll
let me just allow that on here, and then I can, because actually that makes things a lot easier.
yeah,
If you're
sorry, I
going to
know
say things. I'll need to just find Zoom as well and show that on my
sure,
screen.
no problem.
So you should be able to share with me, and then I can pull that up onto the stream.
Okay, I can't share just yet.
Oh yeah, because I'm still sharing. Duh.
Yeah.
That's my fault. There we go.
No problem. So I've got the editing thing up here. So on this particular day, the market opened and did something that we call one time framing, right? Where every low is higher, right? So when it does this, these little pullbacks here don't stop the one time framing. So what that means is inventory is getting long. You're starting to spend time and put volume in over a certain price.
Yeah.
So then after, because what's going on is the market makers have product from down here and they're holding the market up over this 44.15 area to sell this product, right? And then when people get sick of buying it, the market breaks. Now, the clue is it leaves a poor high.
Yes.
Right? That double top. So that's kind of like your signal. And when J opens and can't get anywhere near that area, you're immediately short somewhere in here.
Yeah.
And if it's a quiet day, you can put your stop here. If it's a kind of a volatile day, then you'll put your stop. Like you don't really need to waste a lot of money because if it takes that out and it takes out like my level here, then it's going to rip. Right. But if that structure doesn't get violated, then that's a great location for a short. And then how do you know where it's going to go? You look to the lower stops. So when this market went higher, the lower stops were here.
Yep.
Here, here, and here. Now, what Dalton calls this the firecracker effect, because if you have enough supply, you'll come and take that stop, which will take that stop, which will take that stop, right?
Yeah.
And I call this, if you could take the stops at the lower end of this thing, what I say, it's like a piñata. If you beat on the thing and break it, then all the candy falls out.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So, right. That's how we used to think as short sellers, right? Because sometimes you got to create your own supply when there isn't any, right?
Yeah.
So you got to beat the thing up a little bit. But this time, because we had 4 hours over this period and some volume, and then it just ran out of steam, right? Because the reason is this is not real buying. This is only buying to sell a position at a higher price.
Yes.
Right. So, and as soon as you wrap your head around the fact that there's two types of buying in a market, one for investment and then one for, playing around to make more money, and push markets higher to sell your position, then you're not buying in this area thinking that, oh, it's going to the moon.
Yeah.
right? Because then you see the stop set up and you're like, oh, and any size trader looks at those stops like a Rottweiler looking at a steak that's been left on a counter, because there you see liquidity, right? So if you're short 10, 20,000 contracts up here and you can break those stops, you can like cover your short with some dignity down here, right? So once they break that stop, boom. So that's a nice trade that I like, which the risk isn't really that bad. So then you just look, and then say if you did 5 contracts, you could just take off 1 at every stop, right? Because I'm a big believer in paying yourself, because this move, sure, but in this market lately, it's been snaky where it'll do one of these, you know,
take
like
stops and then just bounce.
or it'll take the stop by 1 tick and then turn around and rip back up, and you're like,
it's what Bitcoin's been doing.
It's like, hello, you know.
That's I wonder if that's the thing, because the thing with FTX and the exchange that we've got here that's been running the markets here is they're Wall Street traders. They're still there in Wall Street, so they'll be there doing trading ES all day, and they're here running the Bitcoin market too. So okay, let's just take the stops of both of them. We'll do the same thing.
You have to understand too that Cohen is now, he hired somebody to specialize in Bitcoin. Right now, when guys like that are in this market, you got to watch out. I mean, Cohen used to be 20% of the ES market. Right. SAC Capital Advisors now 0.72. This guy's really sharp. So you got guys like that who've been, who have billions, right? They manage billions. They have unlimited resources. And then they have these rockstar prime brokerage accounts that give them like just ridiculous leverage, right? And Bitcoin's crazy leverage as it is, right? And so they're playing around in these markets with borrowed money. So that's why I really like structure, because it kind of keeps us out of trouble.
For sure.
And that's the one thing. And, it's amazing. I mean, have you guys read the Archegos report? I'll stop sharing my screen now. This is my ES, and
yes, nice.
this is like, these are the levels, right? So like ES, like Bitcoin, I knew that this was our swing low for our balance range, and we came down and we traded to it to the tick and then bounced. So I said, you know what, if it can't break this balance low and we can't break the piñata, we're going to the balance high, and look where we are today. I thought we'd take maybe a week, but it took 2 days. Right, because this market's nuts. But
it looks exactly like what's happened on Bitcoin recently.
It's because it's all these guys with it's borrowed money. There's $800 billion borrowed against U.S. equity portfolios. That's almost $1 trillion, right? And that's leveraged probably 4 to 1. Did you guys read the Archegos report?
I've not, no.
Oh my God. If you guys, this is one of the most educational things you will read.
What was it
as a trader? There was a fund called Archegos, and the guy's name was Bill Wang. And what he did, it's, how do you spell it? A-R. Here, I'm just going to give you the link. Right. And these guys, this guy was audacious, right? He got in trouble a long time ago and got out of it. I don't know where he got some money. He had a family office and he had like $1 billion or something like that. I don't know where the hell he got it from, but he started going to about 10 or 15 different prime brokerage accounts, right? Banks, right?
Yeah.
And opened up these prime brokers, and they serviced him and they gave him massive amounts of credit. Okay. And he ended up leveraging himself to the tune of $30 billion. Right. And it ended up costing Deutsche Bank, I think, 4 or 5 billion they lost because he over leveraged himself. And take a look at the chart of Viacom, right? The media company. He destroyed the company. VIAC. Look, just look at the chart, right? Because he was pushing Viacom up on borrowed money. And look what he did to it. Just zoom out to
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
So that was him buying and pushing the thing up.
Yeah, it's
Right.
funny. I was just come down to support. It's like
Right.
there's our last sign. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. It's
And they
mad.
just, you know, and this guy, he was over leveraged and they let him take $2 billion out of the account.
Mhm.
That's like, your credit card goes, oh, you know what? You owe 30 grand and you haven't paid the bill. Here's another 200 grand worth of credit. It's
Yeah.
just, and so these are the kinds of people that are pushing these markets around.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why we get these weird, crazy moves and stuff like that, because they're speed dating these positions. They're not long-term players,
Hmm.
and that's why we get these violent sell-offs too, when they get margin calls.
Yeah. 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 And it's almost as if like that. It's the same effect as what you were talking, like that firecracker effect, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
When you, because especially when there's low liquidity in a stock or something, it is what people have to realize, I think, is that okay, here's a stop loss, or here's where stops will be here, and again, like you'll have some more down here, and you'll have some more down here,
Yeah.
and you'll have
Oh
some more
yeah.
down here. And the thing is, like, when you think if people are trapped in long positions,
Oof.
up here, what happens as price goes through and you hit a stop loss? That's a market sell.
Yeah.
So what happens when you have a market sell is it's pushing the price down further. And if
Yeah.
you keep on having people who get hit stop losses, it is effectively selling in the market. It's doubling that selling. So you have people that are aggressively shorting the market, and
Yeah.
then on top of that, you have people who are getting stopped out of longs,
Yeah.
who naturally are shorting the market because that long has now
Exactly.
turned into
Yeah.
a nothing, and they've sold it. So you keep pushing the price down. It just is that just cascade, and that's why you see these moves down, that just
Yeah.
all these moves up on a short squeeze, because
Yeah.
effectively, like, if you're short and you're getting stopped out of a short, you're buying at market, and that's
Yeah.
pushing the price up. And
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
yeah.
And the other thing too, in addition to the third type of selling, is margin calls,
Hmm.
right? Because these guys, see, you don't have stops. These guys who manage billions, they don't use stops,
Yeah.
right? So what they do is they're leveraged to the eyeballs, and their prime broker is like some young guy on the phone going, hello, Mr. JJ, you need to wire $10 million by the end of the day. And you're like, listen, I give you $100 million in commission every year. Shut
Hmm.
up. Go tell your boss to F off. Click. Right. That's how they
Yeah.
deal with margin calls. So it gets put off. And if you read that article that I posted, there's a research report commissioned by the lawyers, because Deutsche Bank, I mean,
Yeah. What?
it's they lost $5 billion because of just completely irresponsible risk management.
Mm.
Yes, I think the entire S&P right now is held up by short positions and leverage.
Yeah.
And I am as nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs trading this thing.
Mm.
That's why I am flat. My trades, I'm in and out, and I sleep at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, this market, the structure of these markets
It's,
I don't like them. Right.
mm-mm.
And I'm not saying that to be a doom and gloom kind of guy, but I trade long more than I trade short, because I like buying bounces, because the supply
Yeah.
just runs out.
Yeah.
Right. When there's supply, I miss shorting. Right. But I just trade what the market gives me that day. I don't really care. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you can build a position in these markets and be like super, super calm. I mean, you trail your stop, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
Once they're in profit. But man, like, look at these charts.
It's yeah. It's
You know,
it is insane, and it's like how when this when this crashes, it's just like
it's just
I've got a gap marked here. And it's like
yeah.
it's not even worth it
Oh
because there's
yeah,
so many of them. It's
yeah,
just gaps up every day. It's
yeah.
like,
It's just, and then there's these poor souls were taught to short a gap because gaps fill. But I'm like,
yeah,
yeah, we have gaps from last year that haven't filled,
yeah.
right?
There's gaps. There's a gap down here. I
Yeah,
can see it. There's a gap
yeah,
down here, like
yeah.
a
You
massive
know,
one.
yeah. So it's just, you look at these things, and I hate to say it, and it sounds. And somebody was asking about my trading resume.
Hmm.
Okay, let me just say that the chart of the S&P looks like when the mob is laundering about $100 million through a penny stock. That's what the chart looks like,
Yeah.
right? I come from the penny stock world in Vancouver, where my clients were probably they were like characters out of a John Wick movie.
Hmm.
So that's the kind of world I grew up in, and it was a very harsh reality world. Trading penny stocks. I was the guy who would sell hundreds of millions of shares of penny stock that was in Switzerland through Canada into the United States markets. And that's why I used to create markets to sell tons
Yeah.
and tons of stock into. I was a liquidator. So that's why I look at stuff today and I'm like, wow, they really uh, and the problem with the market these days is that there's stock hoarding, right? I mean, you look at Apple. Apple traded 59 million shares today. There's
Oh, yeah.
17 billion shares available for trading, but it's what, 60% and 70% institutionally owned.
Mm.
BlackRock owns 1 billion shares. Vanguard, State Street, they all
Yeah.
have 1 billion shares. They have so much stock they couldn't sell it if they wanted to. If
Mm.
somebody tried to sell 100 million shares of Apple in a day, it'd be $5.
Yeah.
It's these markets are not liquid,
Hmm.
right? It's crazy. You got to be very careful.
Yeah. Yeah. You got Apple is just this. Yeah. Everything just looks the same, doesn't it? It's
I mean, riddle me this: you have Apple and Microsoft that have gaps in them that have not filled, right?
mm,
A gap to the upside is a short position. How
yeah.
can a company that's been around for 30 years not have stock to supply that gap?
Yeah.
That's kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Where are
You know?
ones there must be ones down there. Oh, there's like I guess call that a gap, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it's you're kind of in a bit of a range there, but I mean look, gaps here.
Yeah.
Gaps here.
Right. I mean, it's not like this thing is a new issue. It's not like it went
Yeah.
public in March, right? It's been around since what, the 80s,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
So,
you
down
should have
here
enough supply to fill a gap, for God's
yeah.
sakes, right? So
$19 and we're at 100 and 140 is a gap down
all,
here. It's just
all you have to do is go to Yahoo Finance, type in
mm,
Apple, and look at statistics, and you'll see how much of the float actually trades. And then you'll also go and look at the holders and see how much stock is owned by a very limited group of
yeah.
corporations, right? They own so much stock that they physically can't sell it.
Mhm.
So they've got to hold it for 30 years, right?
Yeah.
So maybe in 30 years, Apple will make, flying cars made out of soy that are electric so you can fly them and then eat them afterwards and they're biodegradable, right? Who
Yeah.
knows, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but it's crazy. Like that's how they rammed Tesla up everybody. And now, all the guys who are like, oh, I'm never going to sell. They're like, sell it, right?
Mhm. Yeah, like this. Yeah, Tesla's just mad as well, but it's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, if you look at Tesla, the way that deal was done, and Musk is not an idiot.
Mhm.
There is a deal that happened exactly 100 years before they ran this stock, called the Stutz Automotive deal, and it was a corner of the same thing. And they cornered the shorts so bad in Stutz that the New York Stock Exchange actually suspended trading in the
Right.
stock because the brokerage firms would have all gone down and gone under.
Mhm.
So the guy had to go to court to sue to get the shorts to cover.
Yeah.
So Musk did it right on the 100-year anniversary.
Yeah, that was when yeah, because that was because he was doing the interview then, wasn't he, or something as well, and created that he got everyone to dump the stock, and then
Yeah,
so that
by
massive
acting
short squeeze
crazy,
out of it. Yeah,
right?
yeah, smoking the
Right,
joint on
right. And
yeah.
there's another movie, The Hudsucker Proxy.
Mhm.
Boom, right? It's the same thing. The guy, they put Tim Robbins in the company to shake the stock out because everybody thinks he's an idiot.
Yeah.
You know, it happens all the time,
Yeah.
right? And then he had Bailey Gifford. He was there with a warehouse,
Mhm.
right? That's where all the stock went. They were the eternal bid, right? So anytime they needed a buyer, Bailey Gifford steps in there and bids 1 million shares.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's Yeah.
You know, I mean, that guy didn't just fall off the turnip truck,
Hmm.
right? He's a pretty sharp dude, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So someone saying in the chat, it's completely right. It's like Musk is a genius. He only has to tweet to set his own price. And
Yeah, now he's
this is the
controlling
thing.
these crypto markets.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's like he's having a great time.
Yeah.
I still haven't driven a Tesla, so I can't really say anything about the car.
Are there? Yeah. I've driven one. I've been in one, but it's yeah. I've not properly. I'd have to. There's a really. I know I'm not gonna go into that. I've said this about stream. Like I'm thinking of getting a new car. So every time I'm like I keep talking about that. And there's a company in the UK that like do subscription vehicles, and you can just be like, oh, I have this car this month and this car that month, and just keep switching it over.
That's
So
not bad.
it's
That's
kind of
not
cool.
bad.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
all like electric vehicles and stuff. So it's.
Oh,
I
cool.
mean, I know you're a bit of a petrol head, so uh,
I like electric too. I mean, I would,
yeah,
if you gave me a ride in a Rimac, I wouldn't turn one down.
yeah.
I look, I have nothing against technology. I just love old cars. Just,
Mm.
it's just, all old guys do.
Yeah. Ah, cool. Um, well, yeah, I think,
It's getting kind of late there, isn't it?
yeah, I was just thinking, I said when I was like, because, yeah, Tiger and P were saying, yeah, to get you on the call. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm probably only going to do this until about 11 p.m. So,
Yeah. No,
because,
that's good.
yeah, because yeah, it's quite funny. My family are visiting this weekend,
Oh,
so I've
that's
just been
right.
like, oh, I'm doing a YouTube live stream. You guys just chill out. So I think I'll probably
Oh,
go and
that's
have a
right.
couple of beers with them. But yeah, it was great to have you on again. And yeah, we'll definitely have to do this again more
Good
often.
stuff. And if your parents are listening, be proud of Luke. He's doing good work.
Thank you very
He's
much.
he's keeping people from blowing up their accounts.
I'm doing my
It's good.
best. My dad just
Yeah.
texted me asking if I want a beer. He was going to bring one up, but I think I'll go
Nice.
down and grab one. But
Good. Have one for me too.
yes, and we'll
All
have one
right.
when you come to London.
Definitely.
Yeah, that'd be
Thank you
great.
guys. I really
Right.
appreciate all the time and effort you guys spend with me. I really appreciate it.
Oh,
Learn a
likewise.
lot.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, likewise. It's fascinating to have you on and to hear your experience and to get your input and your views on the market, not only like crypto markets, but hearing about the ES and legacy markets and things as well. Because for everyone who's watching this, I'm sure it's really like very like, just really helpful stuff to hear. And yeah, we appreciate your time as well. So thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend, everybody. Get
Great. Yeah, you
outside. Get
too.
outside before winter comes.
I know we're stuck in here on a Friday night
I
talking
know.
like
I
with
know. Well, I'm in
yeah.
Saskatchewan, so winter's coming in like 6 weeks. So I'm gonna get outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks mate. I'll speak to you soon.
All right. Have a great night.
Cheers, you too. Bye.
Bye for now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna sign off now as well. We were gonna do the poker even tonight. I haven't had any. I've only had a couple of messages about that. So Ollie, I know Ollie PKSB, and I know Senti was on there as well. Anyone else, Rufus Warthog and stuff. We will. Yeah, I'll message you. We'll do another poker night soon. I have not forgot about it. I promise I have not forgotten about it. We will do the rematch of this on stream, possibly tomorrow night. I mean, I've never done a weekend stream before. I'm normally working, but hey, I might hop on tomorrow night if you guys are available. We'll figure something out. If not, we'll just do a closed rematch of this, or I'll just send the entry feedback and stuff. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I'm gonna end this stream here, and yeah, enjoy the price action over the weekend. I will trade it as much as I can. I'll update the group as much as I can,